Find your rhythm, your happy place. Find your breaking point. Then break it. Every emergency gives you a potent blend of nutrients, so you can emerge your best with Emergency.
Down there, care with Cottonelle. Down there, because you're all over your overall wellness. So #treat yourself with the cleaning ripples of Cottonelle toilet paper and flushable wipes. The refreshingly clean routine that leaves you feeling inside and out. Care. Down there, care with Cottonelle.
Now, the morning sprint.
In Sunnyside, officials are investigating after they found a man dead inside his home. Last week, police were asked to do a welfare check on Franklin Avenue, where they discovered 70-year-old Pedro Leja. The incident is being investigated as a homicide. It's the first alleged homicide in Sunnyside in over 2 years. If you have any tips, contact Sunnyside Police or Yakima County Crime Stoppers. And Yakima police say a teenager who was abducted by a felon has been found safe in Nevada. According to the Yakima Police Department, yesterday morning, 15-year-old Angeles Revuelta Buenrostro was allegedly taken by 36-year-old Daniel Levante of Arizona. There was an Amber Alert issued, but thankfully around 10 p.m. last night, Yakima police said the officers in Nevada spotted the suspect's car and Angeles was found safe. The suspect was taken into custody. The Grant County Sheriff's Office has announced one of their deputies has died due to COVID-19. Deputy John Melvin passed away on December 11th. He was discovered by fellow deputies during a welfare check after family members reported they couldn't reach him. Melvin served for over 35 years in law enforcement and was preparing to retire this year. He was 60 years old. Coronavirus is once again spreading behind bars in Washington state. At least 6 inmates have died since the pandemic began and thousands have tested positive. Airway Heights Correction Center near Spokane has the largest outbreak right now with more than 1,400 cases and 2 deaths within the past couple of months. The Stafford Creek Correction Center, which is out on the peninsula, has seen 900 cases. 1 inmate and 1 staffer have died there. And the state penitentiary in Walla Walla has the 3rd largest outbreak in a Washington prison. More than 800 people have tested positive since the pandemic began there. 2 inmates have died, 1 in November and another on New Year's Eve. In Oregon, 6 counties, including Morrow County, are starting the new year in the high-risk category. That's actually 1 step down from extreme risk, which you can see is where most of the state is still sitting. But for those areas in the high-risk category, gyms and theaters can reopen, and restaurants and bars can allow people inside with up to 6 people per table. In Yakima County, we've learned more about a COVID-19 outbreak at a Costco in Union Gap, where 174 employees tested positive in the past month. Almost half their staff. The Yakima Health District says 149 of those employees have recovered and returned to work. Health officials don't know exactly how the outbreak started, but say the information shows multiple employees were infected at the same time and likely the same place. Despite that, Health District investigators have been to the store twice and say it's safe enough to continue operating.
All the proper COVID-19 safety precautions were being followed. Anyone who was going into Costco was not at a higher risk of infection to COVID-19 so long as they wore a mask and social distance at all times.
The store will continue testing its employees over the next few weeks. Yakima County has seen more than 20,000 coronavirus cases since the pandemic began, with more than 1,000 of those people getting sick enough to end up in the hospital. In the Tri-Cities, state officials have taken away the liquor license from Coco's Bartini for 6 months. The business kept its dining room open despite dozens of complaints and a warning from the Liquor and Cannabis Board. The owners later posted on Facebook saying they made a deal with their landlord to close their doors until January 11th, which is when the latest statewide restrictions are technically supposed to expire. But Coco says it is planning to start takeout orders with martini mixers starting today. In Walla Walla, health officials announced 2 recent deaths related to COVID-19. There were a local man in his 60s and a woman in her 50s. Right now, 487 people in Walla Walla County are fighting the virus. Most of them are staying home in quarantine, but 10 of them are in the hospital right now. And here's a look at the latest numbers from the Benton Franklin Health District. Hundreds of people tested positive over the weekend, but some good news this morning. The number of people in local hospitals has slightly dropped. Today, Governor Inslee is holding a press conference to give an update on the state's response to the ongoing pandemic. The press conference will begin at 2:30 and will also be live streamed. Of course, we'll bring you updates on that press conference on KAPP-KV Local News at 5 and online at yaktrinews.com. Starting today, the COVID testing site at the HAPO Center will be relocated to its new location in Kennewick. According to the Benjamin Franklin Health District, the old site at the HAPO Center wasn't fenced, requiring staff to set up and take down each day, resulting in less hours for testing. The new site is on South Eli Street near the Kennewick Irrigation District. The hours will stay the same as the previous location, Tuesday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m.
And at 6:55, giving you a live look right now. Clear conditions, or at least around our area this morning. Sunshine as it comes up this morning. We should see some of it, at least for the first half of the day today, and then more wet weather that'll start to spill back in later on this evening and especially for tonight. So there are just a few clouds drifting through. Definitely a different story than yesterday, so safe bet at least to leave the umbrella at home early this morning. But you can see the quiet conditions around the Pacific Northwest. Our next system that is just offshore, that'll start to move in here, impacting parts of the Cascades starting as early as noon today with additional snowfall and a winter weather advisory that is in place there. So there's a look early this morning, still dry, more active weather starting to move into the Yakima Valley later on this afternoon. Still dry though in the Tri-Cities and to the foothills of the Blues, but that will be changing up later tonight. There's a look at 9 p.m. Scattered rain showers moving back in. A little bit of a soggy start, especially from the Tri-Cities and areas to our south and southeast for your Wednesday morning. And then we'll just have a spotty rain shower or two popping up on and off throughout your day Wednesday, maybe even a few heavy downpours at times for certain locations. Temperatures on Wednesday a little bit cooler, back into the upper 40s, and then finally back to more sunshine as well for your Thursday. So as far as what we're seeing out the door this morning, still a little bit breezy there along the foothills. Dayton this morning up to 16, a 13-mile-per-hour wind in Pullman, but now starting to calm things down in the Tri-Cities and over into the Yakima Valley. So there's improvements in the wind as well.